Hey guys, this is HiToMe once again. This is medical edition. I don't know. Um, anyway, um, so today I'm going to be creating my first aid kit. Um, so yes, there are a whole lot more of that specific type back there, and other boxes and that. So, first off, general rule of thumb when dealing with medical stuff. Prescription labels, okay? If you see a prescription label, generally you want to stay away, okay? Now, if you know that item specifically, like say, like right here with the Doc Plus, that is a stool softener, meaning most doctors, so, give, in fact, like all doctors, after giving their patients medication, will give them some of that to soften, to make it so that it is easier for them to go potty, to make sure they go potty when they should. So, I know this looks like a whole lot, but we're gonna actually go through it. This was the contents of my first aid kit slash emergency preparedness kit. Okay, now I'm updating for two reasons here. One, I've been actually wanting to update for a while because, like, this right here, these are the pills that were in it beforehand. In my first aid kit that, yeah, that's a whole bunch of different pills and that all mixed together, and that's not a good thing. In fact, these are most likely going directly to the trash can. Okay, we do not want to mix medications of any kind together, no matter their purpose. Okay. Now, another thing, if I get my extension cord coming over here, I have my phone plugged in, so Now, another thing, you'll notice I have a whole bunch of these little like bags with a whole bunch of writing, okay? I'm not just sticking these bottles into my kit down here. In fact, all these pills are going to most likely be going into that right there, okay? And that's just so that I can keep track of it and all of that. I have some right up there, some apple juice for myself so that I can drink it. Well, anyway. So, now on to the next portion. We're actually going to be going through the stuff and why I'm going to be putting it in there. And we're starting with the content over here and then working our way over there, okay? So, uh, there we go. So, first off, CPR mask. You most likely will need to be CPR certified to get one of these. I'm not positive. I know I got one the day I got, not the first time I got CPR certified. Um, CPR certification is a really good thing to do. Although I knew CPR beforehand, CPR certification is a really smart thing to go through all those classes and be able to deal with that stuff. Because some jobs, they'll actually be impressed if you are CPR certified. Because scout camps and that, they need a specific amount of people that CPR certified for it. Now, this is a CPR mask. So if I were to open it up, I'd have a mask that would go over the mouth and nose, and I'd also have some instructions of how to put that mask on, uh, like little pictures. But generally, they are banking that your instruction, the person that gave you the instruction, your teacher, taught you how to use a mask. They're mainly banking on that and the stuff inside there. Okay, so that's really good in case somebody stops breathing. Uh, for some random reason, I have my CPR mask right there, so that I can do the mouth-to-mouth portion. Okay. Another thing is my little pen light right here. So it actually has a light in it, boom, which it will come in really handy. Me, I've kind of grown up with medical knowledge. So for me, the pen light is really handy because I can check the pupil reaction. Then it also has a pen on the other side, which I can use for writing stuff down. One thing I do need to get still is a pad and paper, a notepad, basically. That's one thing I still need to get, but let's continue on through here. So I have a pocket knife, this right here, which has a knife, screwdriver, and some of that stuff, bottle opener, and some of that stuff combined in there. This is like a survival kind of thing, but the pocket knife and this kind of I have for the same reason, is the knife portion I can cut. I also have a compass right here in case I get lost. I can find my way to the like the nearest town or whatever if I know what direction it's in. And also flint and steel. That's I can start any needed fires or anything like that with that, and like in case I'm lost in the middle of the woods or whatever. Flashlight. I can see what I'm doing. This is just mouthwash, which main purpose in nowadays is for when you brush your teeth and all that. You want to do a bit of mouthwash, but I might find a few other things for it because number one, it is a liquid. See, I can magnify light, a bit of light there. I think possibly. Anyway, yeah, I can find a few different things that I can do with this. Okay. And then to finish up the tote lid is gauze pads, which are the dressing which you apply directly to the wound. Okay. Now let's go move on to the chair. I have this little kit here that I got a little while back. Anyway, and some stuff I've added into it. Other stuff that was I was in it when I got it, I've taken out and used. So currently I have antacid there, antacid, and I have eye drops. I have tubing because I can find a whole bunch of different reasons, ways to use that tube, and Q-tips basically. Okay, and then right here razor knives, or not razor, razors like shaving razors. Because these I can find a whole bunch of different reasons for. Like one, say I have a lot of hair around a wound or something that I need to clean, I can take that and I can shave that hair away. And there's other things I can use a blade to cut things, stuff like that. Next is the gloves. Yeah, I'm now pretty set on gloves, by the way, with these two, which are my new addition. These are my old that I'm bringing along with into my new one. But gloves, lidocaine patch. Lidocaine patches are mainly for reducing pain. Now, onto these. These are basically shopping bags, that kind of stuff. Not only can I catch projectile puke in them, I can collect pee and poo in them, but I can also, say there's a chest wound, I can use these to cover up that chest wound and potentially save that person's life. Because a chest wound is where the lungs are. And the lungs, if you put that over it, will use it to help breathe, to seal the gap, basically. I didn't close the door, did I, psychopath cat? He's coming in here to investigate. Okay, we'll move on to alcohol swabs right here. These are sterilizing stuff and wounds, cleaning up wounds. Raining emergency poncho in case it rains and I have no raincoat or poncho with me, or a regular poncho. Emergency blanket, this is what I had before, and I'm also putting this in there, so I'm adding both of them. I'm a very prepared person. Anyway, so emergency blankets are really good because they're really reflective and they keep in heat and all of that, which is really good when you're like out in the snow and that, and also like during the night, even in especially like in deserts and that. Right here are matches. I have matches in there, and this is a waterproof container right there. And I'm gonna skip the medication there for a moment. Move on to the shoelaces right here. These can act as a good tourniquet if need be, and also tying things together, that kind of stuff. This right here is bandage, if you will. And so this will stretch open, and I can take a gauze pad, put it on my arm. Say I had an injury on my arm, I could put it on my arm, And this, I can slide up my arm and hold that gauze pad in place. These back here are baggies, little like lunch sandwich bags, and Sharpies, which you'll find out the reason for those in a moment. You obviously need something to carry your stuff in. Boom. And it looks like we are ready to move on to the medication. Now, as I said before, generally prescription stuff, I've blacked out this stuff so that you can't read any of it already. Generally, with prescription, when you see the prescription label, turn the other way and go away from it, okay? Generally, you need a prescription to access those drugs. And commonly, if you don't have the prescription, stay away from them. But in this case, these are over-the-counter drugs. They just happen to have a prescription on them because that's how the person I received them from got them. Along with the aspirin over there, okay? Now, another thing with the drugs, like, don't just get this because I have it and you don't know what the heck it does, okay? In fact, I'll explain why I have everything, but these are stool softeners, meaning it will help you go poo, in a sense, okay? So, every drug here, I know how it can help, okay? And that stuff, okay? I know the background to it, okay? You want drugs that you know what they do to help. You know what they do. Like, say, this, and I heard some sort of rumor that this was like a Benadryl. But really, in retrospect, right there it says heart failure. Heart failure. This is like if somebody has a mild heart attack. I can give them one of these. I don't want to give that to somebody who's perfectly fine. Yeah, there are consequences to that, okay? So you want to make sure you know what that drug does. And that, okay? Now, another thing is with these, because I'm not putting these directly in, number one. Number two, like this one doesn't have what it, or like this tube doesn't have its purpose on it. That's partially why I'm putting this tube, because this entire thing will be going into my kit, but it doesn't have what it helps with on it that I can read really quickly here. But this is for pain relief, so I'm putting it in this baggie, okay? You'll find out why I'm doing this in a moment as well, okay? Now, another thing with it is, which you're going to find out actually right now. Another thing with it is, if you say you're out hiking and somebody gets injured, you want to use their first aid kit first, okay? But you want to make sure what all the drugs in your first aid kit are and all of that, right? Well, in their first aid kit, they got to make sure that they know what all the drugs are and what they do. Now, say I bring my first aid kit along and I get wounded to the point where I can't speak because of the pain or something. And somebody opens up my first aid kit and the only thing in there for pain is we'll just go with Icy Hot. But they don't know that this Icy Hot right here is a pain reliever. We want to make sure that somewhere on it, it says what it does. Because say I get a cough or something that's really, really bad, like I have an itchy throat or something, you can't talk, and I need something like Benadryl, boom, okay, it's this. But how are they supposed to give it to me if they don't know what it's for, okay? So write on it what it means, what it does, what it helps with, and all of that. Another thing with that is, say you forget what the heck it is. These little things like stool softener, which is a medical term, but hey, I can read that and go, oh, it's for constipation. Okay, got it. Okay, and others can also read that and know what it's for. Okay, now let's get into it here. And I will actually be putting 2 of these in there and 2 of these into there. In fact, I might only put 1 of these in there. I'm not sure exactly how many tablets are in there. Anyway, I'm not going to be putting this whole bottle or this whole bottle in there. I'm just putting some of them in there. I'll probably be putting that whole thing in there, this whole thing. So only some of those. because that's really nice and full and all of that. And then, of course, this ointment is going in its bag. This ointment is going in its bag. And this ointment, and this ointment is going in separately. Because they all kind of say what they do and are more well known as well. It's like right here, oh, look, this numbs pain. Let me rub it on where the pain is, basically, okay? Whereas this right here, what is this used for? I don't know. It doesn't say anywhere on it what it's used for. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to leave it in there. Anyways, like, this is mainly for rashes, okay? That's one of the main things I found. I'm not putting everything that is for on there, but rashes is one thing, okay? I put that in that bag. That way I can remember, okay? Not only me, but other people can know as well. So, yeah. It's really good. Now, I'm also not putting this whole pile of the lidocaine patches in at once, or all these gauze pads in at once, okay? It's as my supply depletes is when I'll be doing the restocking, okay? I don't want to haul this many gauze pads around for something I might only need this many for. Or I'm not going to be hauling all these around for something I might only need this many for, okay? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going through it. So lidocaine, all the things that you see lidocaine. This has lidocaine. This has lidocaine, and there may have been one other lidocaine. Oh yeah, lidocaine patches. Okay, lidocaine is pain remover. Okay, that's just a general lidocaine. Oh, it's for removing pain. Got it. Other pain remover relievers I have is Icy Hot, and this one right here, this one right here, and this one right here, and aspirin. So ibuprofen, aspirin. I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce that one right now. My mind is too far gone. And lidocaines and Icy Hot. Okay. Anyway, so that's those items out of the way now. This one is for rashes, as we've already said. So now I've gotten that one out of the way. This one right here is Heart Health. This is actually a supplement, so it's not a pill that you take after the fact, more like this one is. This is heart failure, but these two are heart related. These are like Benadryl. So say I have a sneeze or something. Oh, I guess technically a sneeze. Yeah, sneezing right there. Then I can take one or two of those. Only like maybe two at a time. But you mainly only want to take one at a time, okay? These stool softeners we've already gone over, and that kind of covers it. So now I'm going to be putting those in their respective baggies. And, oh, I did not think of a way to hold my camera. Ooh. Use the environment around me. Oh. No, that doesn't work either. Yeah. So, if I go like so. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. So I'm first putting in the lidocaine one. I'm just putting it in that bag, zipping up that bag. Boom. In fact, I kind of want to get all the air out of the bag that I can. Boom. Then just go from one end, work the way down, slide on down, zip it closed. Same thing for this one. I've got that caught. Put it in there. Boom. In fact, generally if you go about halfway first and already get going, then it's just easier to finish the zipping process. So, boom, and these are already out of the way. So I'm going to bring my bag right here up, open it up. And because these are like tube objects and they're kind of like fat, I'm putting them in the base of my thing first. Plus, there are things I'm probably going to go for less. Next, there's like a little spot right there that I can go for. Boom. Whoa. And this kind of also fits in that spot. Oh. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, see, that also kind of fits in said spot. Okay. Next is the pen, which I'm maneuvering around with. Boom. I also like to have a Sharpie in there. I also generally have a different type of pen, but I'm going to go with another red and black Sharpie this go around. And then I'm also just going to drop my pocket knife in there along with my flashlight and mouthwash. Boom. Then I'm also going to put the matches in there as well, okay? So that's kind of just starting off right there, okay? Now I'm also going to take these and fold them, and I'm still kind of figuring out, I'll take maybe 4 gauze pads and kind of stuff them right here in the front. I may need a different bagging system. Now, I'm also going to go over my bag here in a moment. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, I really like that. Yeah. See how that gauze kind of just fit on down in there? Another thing with my bag, I also have a whistle on it so that I can blow. And that whistle also has a light so I can see. Now, another thing, because that's kind of where we put the gauze pads, I'm going to take a couple of these lidocaines and put them right there with the gauze pads, because they're kind of in the same boat, okay? So I'm going to take a couple of these lidocaine patches, stuff them right there, boom. Then, next, I might not even implore, oh, I also have a whistle in there, which will no longer be required. So this may no longer be required. I'm going to open up this pocket right here. If I actually open it, and this is where my emergency poncho is going to go. Number 1. And then behind it, I'm going to fit the emergency blanket. I'm going to go for my older one because it's kind of compounded more. And I'm just going to kind of just stuff it in there, okay? Boom. Now voila. See how that's kind of coming along? And if I force that back down, boom, see, it closes, reopens. Next, I'm going to grab just a couple, like 4 pairs. So that's 8 alcohol swabs right there. And I'm just going to kind of, actually, I'm going to go behind the lidocaine patches right there because they kind of just fit there, okay? Next, we need to get onto the pill system here. So I'm going to close that up and scoot it over. In fact, ooh, I almost forgot. So I'm going to take some of my older gloves here, my blue ones, because I kind of like my blue gloves. Take 4. That's 2 patients, basically. I'm just going to fold them over like that, like so. And if I'm going to go for a multi-day trip, I'm going to have my extras in the tote that you're currently sitting on, actually. Yeah, I'm going to take some of the extra supplies, not the extra pill stuff, but like the extra lidocaines, gauze pads, and gloves, and put them in there. And I'm also going to take these bags right here, and I'm going to grab 2 of the bags. Now these bags are plastic, which is part of a really nice feature of said bags. So not only can you really well maneuver them, but plastic also is another good reason. The plastic is what would make like the chest wound scenario possible to be fixable there. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of roll up those 2 bags and stick them right there. Okay, and then this emergency blanket will also be going in the tote that you're sitting on. This right here, I'm going to stick on the other side of the lidocaine patches and alcohol. Well, on the other side of the alcohol swabs right there with the lidocaine patches. Boom. And then I can stuff this area right back here a bit. Then also I have this compartment right there that I can stuff stuff into. So first, I'm just going to see about how many pills or tablets are in one of these. Now, another thing, when you just barely get medication of any kind, you want to make sure that that seal is still good, whether it is a tube or something like that. Now, with this, I just got to poke in, boom, okay? Voila. And then I remove extra aluminum foil and etc. Kind of just pull it away. And I'm just going to be dumping this entire thing, boom. And that's actually a good amount. So this other bottle, I'm not even going to open, because that's a good amount to get me started with, okay? That's probably around 30 tablets. Well, that's actually probably more. That's probably close to 50 tablets at least. Just browsing, pushing those around. I'm going to partially open that right there. And you see I'm just pushing against my stomach. And then I'm just kind of holding it there and rolling it a little bit. Boom. And I'm just pushing to get all that excess air out of there. And then zip locking it closed. I'm just going to fold. Boom. And put that right back there. Boom. So now with these, I'm thinking I'm also going to do that same thing. There are 30 tablets in this. And Benadryl you tend to go through quicker as well. Now see, I'm also puncturing a hole in this one. Now, I've already looked at a couple of these. Like these, we've been using around my house already, the ibuprofen. So that's already open. And that. Now, time for secret knife. So yeah, it's fairly easy to do a knife. Boom. You don't have to puncture hard with a knife. We'll kind of just slide on in there. Boom. Make sure you're careful with the knife though. Always be careful with knives. Now you see how that doesn't have quite that much in there? And because you go through this one much quicker, I'm going to go ahead and do the next one right here as well. Boom. Now I only have the two, but I can also supplement the Benadryl there. And I'm just going to go dumpy there. So now that's 60 right there that I have readily available in my pack. Boom. And I'm just going to kind of go whoop, whoop, push down, get all that excess air out of there, rotate it, and put it on top of the other pills right there. Boom. Okay? Now, I'm probably going to revise this a little bit so that the pills are a bit more buried right here. And that's probably all the pills I'm going to put there, okay? So I'm going to fold that on over, scoot that stuff out of the way, add that to my huge collection of that, because I have a huge selection, or set amount there. And now I'm going to open up the ibuprofen. And ibuprofen you use probably just as much of, but I am only going to dump a bit amount. Because I have quite a few different pain relievers, and I have 2 pain reliever / fever reducers alone. So I'm only going to do a couple of these. I'm just going to rotate it on in there. Open that bag. Woo. Push out that air. Zip it closed. Fold it. Stick it in that front pocket. Then also, always make sure that the caps go on nice and tightly. I haven't really been doing that with the other ones because it's not been needed, because they're all empty. Boom. Voila. Voila. Boom. Okay. Another thing, the Sharpie will eventually wear down. That's nothing too big to worry about. Now, as you also will notice, I've been picking these up, this and bag, because I already have it sitting on the bag. That's how I did it, okay? It's really nice. And I'm also not going to fill the aspirin either, okay? I have a lot of pain relievers, and so I can just go boom. Oh, see? Yep. Always don't get caught up. And don't get cocky. Boom. Voila. Boom. Yeah, I'm not going to dump a lot of aspirin in there. Like, only that much. Mainly because aspirin is generally a bit stronger of a drug. But it still is a over-the-counter thing, I believe. Well, I know. Boom. Put down. Next one. Open up. Boom. Boom. Voila. Plus, I'm not going to be giving an aspirin to a fellow teenager. I'm only going to offer it mainly to adults because I have a lot of other pain reliever things for that. Now, also, these I won't be using as much, so I'm only going to put maybe about that much in there. Okay, and then I'm just going to go boom, blah. Then, of course, also the heart supplements, I'm not going to be using that much of either, so I'm only going to put a small amount. Boom. This one is already open, by the way. Now, I'm just going to take these supplements and just go, woo, voila. That's enough to last somebody a few days, or a couple days, if, say, they forgot their supplements at home. Okay? So, yeah, you also want to make sure that the people you're giving it to are really in need of it, rather than somebody who's just like, oh, yeah, I forgot my heart supplements. Well, they know you have heart supplements, and that you're willing to give it to people who is needing it. Oh yeah, I forgot my heart supplements. That could be a bit of a, oh, I almost forgot this. Boom. I'm also going to stick one of these with it. Boom. And the rest of those I'm going to leave in my tote, which on my multi-day adventure, I'm going to be bringing that tote along with me. Anyway, I'm just going to be sticking that right in there. Voila. And that right there is my bag packed and ready. Okay? Now, I could include this, it's a band that keeps mosquitoes and those types of bugs away, but I'm not going to include that. And the CPR mask, I'm also just going to be leaving in the bucket. That's my personal preference, but that's just me, okay? So, hope you guys have enjoyed this interesting video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!